Salvete omnes. In order to review, let's first learn a simple question. Quid facis? Based on what we've learned, we can already guess two things about this question. The first is that quid is a WH question word, just like qui, which we saw in the first proverb. And the second word looks like a verb conjugated for to. The key word to help you understand this verb is factory, because it means do or make. And if you haven't guessed it, this question is, what do you do? Or what are you doing? Latin doesn't distinguish between these two forms because there is no ing conjugation in Latin. Can you guess how to ask, what is the male student doing? Quid discipulus facit? Try to say, now he is reading. Remember, you don't need to say he. Nunc legit. Legit can mean either he reads or he is reading, depending on the context. Now ask, what is the male teacher doing? Remember, this is a weird noun. Quid magister facit? Answer, he is teaching. Docet. It's crazy how economical Latin is, right? Let's change it up a little. Ask now, what is the female student reading? Quid discipula legit? Easy, right? Now be careful with the answer. Say, a letter. Epistulam. Do you remember the M? Even though we're omitting half the sentence, the words still need to be declined in the proper form. Can you remember from the last lesson's story how to say, Rome is the best? Roma optima est. It's like saying Rome is optimal. Not all question words begin with a QU. Try to guess the meaning of the next sentence. Ubi est Roma? Where is Rome? Something that is ubiquitous is found everywhere. Try to ask now, where do you live? Ubi habitas? How about where is the farmer working now? Ubi agricola nunc laborat? It's a little easier than English since we don't need to rearrange the words as much. And do you remember what the next sentence means? Volo hic habitare. I want to live here. The verb meaning to want is irregular. Try to guess the meaning of the next sentence. Ubi habitare vis? Where do you want to live? For yes-no questions, we simply add the suffix ne to the first word in the sentence. For example, studesne, dormisne. Are you studying? Are you sleeping? Try to ask, are the students drinking water? Discipuline vinum bibunt? We also add a rising intonation at the end of the sentence, as well as ne. It's kind of convenient that ne comes first, though, since it indicates that the sentence is a question. This way you're not surprised at the end of the sentence. We can also start the sentence a little bit differently. Look at the next sentence. Nonne agricolae laborant. This nonne is a combination of the word non and the suffix ne that we just learned. Adding it to the sentence is like asking, the farmers are working, no? Or, the farmers are working, aren't they? Sometimes it's also translated as, surely the farmers are working. Ask, you're reading the book, aren't you? Non ne librum legis? One way to say yes in Latin is ita est. Ita means so. So this literally means it is so. Kind of cool, huh? In the next sentence, I'm sure you can figure out the new word from context. Ita est dicit agricola. Yes, says the farmer. The words diction and dictate are derived from this word. We will start seeing this now in the stories when there is quoted speech. Let's review giving and the dative case now by introducing a new declension. Militi aquam do. I give the soldier water, or I give water to the soldier. You can see the connection to military, right? It's not so clear though in the nominative case. For example, miles agricolae gladium dat. The soldier gives the farmer a sword. This word is our first third declension noun. Beyond the first declension, the declensions become more annoying because the nouns are more irregular and there is overlap among the endings. For example, when we say to the soldier, we use the form militi. Can you remember what discipuli means? Adding e to second declension nouns, like discipulus, is like adding an s or an apostrophe s. So it signifies the plural or the possessive, as in students or students with an apostrophe s. And how do we say to the male student? Discipulo. So for the dative case, we have agricolae, discipulo, militi. Another third declension noun is felis. Do you recognize this word? The word felis is where we get the term feline. Remember this word for the story. Now say, I give the book to my friend. My is understood. Amico librum do. We will look at one more third declension noun in this lesson because it will be in the story, the word mus. This is another animal that has a connection with felis. It's a mouse, right? But when it's an object, it changes to this. Felis murem edit. The cat eats the mouse. But don't worry, they'll be friends in the story. Let's try to say, we eat and drink. Nos bibimus et edimus. We're ready now for this lesson's story. However, there's one word you might not be able to guess. The word deinde means then or after that. It's used often in stories for narrating sequential events, so we're going to be seeing it more now in the stories. Felis ad silvam ambulat, quod amicum desiderat. Nonne hic sunt amici, dicit, et in silvam ambulat. Felis murem videt, et mus felem spectat. Dende mus fugat. Sed felis celle est, et murem consequitur. Did you guess the last word? It has many meanings, but here it means chase. We can remember it by thinking consequences chase our actions, or follow them closely. Okay, we'll see what happens with the cat and mouse in the next lesson. Be sure to like, subscribe, and share, and if you can, consider supporting the channel on Patreon. Gracias!